What's going on, guys? Pinoy Unlock here, and welcome to another edition of Tenant Garage. Now, this is gonna be a different thing because I usually in Tenant Garage I talk about builds of frames, but this one we're gonna be talking about how to use the frames. Certain frames, and for the first frame that we are gonna be discussing is Rhino. So this is more like on how to use Rhino, and I at the end of the video I will show you another build, uh, something that I use and I think it might help. So let's begin. So first thing I would like to discuss or share with you guys is what happened to me in the past few days and why am I doing this, how to use a certain wireframe kind of thing. So okay, in the past few days, I've been doing some public games, missions, things that we do in Warframe. So I dive into this mission. It's an alert, a defense mission. So this mission is the one that really pops up in my head because I am really surprised of what happened in this mission. So I went in this mission. I was using an Ash Prime. So I'm like, the reasoning behind it, I just want to chill out, do my thing, you know, not, not going all intense, hyped up and stuff like that. I just want to chill out, kill a few enemies, and then that's that. Gone about my day. And in that mission, we have a Trinity, a Frost, and then a Rhino. So I'm like, it's a defense mission. We have a Frost. This is gonna be a cakewalk. The enemies are level 40 and above. So mission begins. First wave of enemies. I'm like, what is going on? We are being swarmed, and I'm like, I'm doing the most killing, which I'm not supposed to be doing them because if you know the Frost and Rhino, they have these massive skills which process avalanche that can clear out most of the enemies at that level, and then we have Rhino that can do a stomp and crowd control things. But no, that is not what's happening. Everything is being jammed into this the pod, the thing that we try to defend, and I'm like, what the heck is going on in here? So here's the first thing I did is I checked them out. I followed them around. The guys are, you know, they're trying to kill. They're using their guns. I'm like, okay, they are not AFK. They are not leeching. So what's the problem? I checked their loadouts. Make sure that they are not trying to level some weapons, and I see them. Their loadouts are max all level 30s, even the frame. So they are not leveling. So I'm really dumbfounded. Like, what the heck is going on in here? So a few waves, so because it's an alert, usually 10 waves. So about around wave 5, I noticed something. I really, I mean, I actually probably like wave 3, I already noticed it. I figured out what's going on. They just not using their skills. Frost using his snow globes. Okay, that's cool. Rhinos using his iron skin. I can hear it, and that is that. So I'm like, and then I checked them out and I saw the MRs. I'm like, they're pretty new to the game, so maybe they just don't know how to use the frames. What else can the frame do? So that's the idea. That's why I like, oh, okay, I'll make a video of it. May I hope they might find, they might find themselves watching this video and get some insight on. So for this one, I'm gonna be talking about Rhino Fly. So let's begin. So how to use Rhino? Well, the first thing we need to discuss is what is Rhino. For me, this is my description of Rhino. First, he is a tank. So if you can't dodge bullets just like on the Matrix, he is a really good frame for you. He is a tank to protect you from damage. The second is he is a damage buffer. So he can cast his third ability to buff your damage. Use your weapons to kill your enemy. Okay? The Another thing is, which the last thing for Rhino is, he is a crowd controller, so he can use his stomp. You know how it works. It puts the enemies that doesn't get killed up in the air. It stays there for the duration based on your power duration, and it will give you ample time to shoot them all up. So that's how it works. That's how basically that's how you play him. Okay, you're not just gonna be there. I cast Iron Skin. Bam! I'm gonna stand in the middle of the enemy. Just try to shoot them one by one until until they kill you or you kill them. That's not just how it works. You can use his other abilities, to go further. Okay, so let's discuss the abilities. So the first ability, we all know it. It's a charging ability. Okay, so what are what are the things that we can do to it? Okay, first thing, okay, you can either kill the smaller enemies with it, which is I don't recommend, but you can use it either way. On that, you know, okay. The main thing that I use his ability is first to buff for Iron Skin. Now, in order to do that, you will need to have his augment Ironclad charge. What happens is, if you charge a certain amount of enemies, I believe one enemy is 50% adds on your armor. So, two enemies, you get additional 100% armor bonus. Then, so on and so on. And with that being said, you need, let's say you charge the enemy, then you will get the buff. Now you will have to cast your Iron Skin. So what happens if you still have your Iron Skin? Well, that's where the second augment comes in. These work in pairs, which is the other augment is Iron Shrapnel. Okay, what it does is you will have the ability to deplete your Iron Skin. It doesn't matter if it's 100% or it's at 1%. You can recast it to deplete your Iron Skin and then cast Iron Skin again, so you will have a new one. Okay, so the combination is charge, then hit your once you see the buff is in there, hit your number 2 button twice. So that's the combination on that. Second ability, well, we all know with Iron Skin, I just discussed it. So there we go. Third ability, this one is the damage buffer. So in my build, I don't really put that much strength, and without even just doing anything to power strength, it already give you 50% damage boost to your weapons, and that is a huge boost. Okay, you cannot just find that anywhere else. Okay, so that's a good ability. It's not as much as Chroma, but a boost is a boost, and it is really something. So don't forget to use it. It helps you. You might be bringing something like, this is can kill the enemy fast, but try it with the buff. You can kill a lot faster. Okay, so let's move on to his portability now. Iron Stomp. Okay, what happens when you cast this? Enemies around the radius of the skill, gets thrown up in the air, if not killed, and then they will stay there for the duration of your skill based on your power duration. Okay, so in my build, which it will also be shown at the end of the video, or if not, you can check out my other video on Rhino. So with that, in the build I have, they will stay in the air for around about 9 to 10 seconds. So for me, that is an ample enough time for me to either get out of there or kill them all. At least they are not shooting me and my allies or whatever it is that I'm trying to defend or whatever it is I'm doing. Okay? So that's how you use Rhino. Now, for the focus, okay, and now if you are that far, you already have focus, I highly suggest Synoric. Why Synoric? Well, Synoric has this ability to, so you can get more energy over time, and it will help you to keep casting, spamming all your abilities. Okay, what about other schools? Well, we all know that I think Synoric is the best one, and then we have Naramon coming in second. But Naramon is mostly built for invisibility. What's used, you don't really need to be invisible if you are a tank. You can take the damage. It helps to be invisible, but it's not required. So Synergy is really the only thing that I think the focus that you really gonna want to be using. Okay. So next topic. So now that we have discussed all his abilities, what can we do with it? Let's put even the focus. Let's put a scenario on how you can use it. Let's say you dive into a mission. First thing you're gonna do, cast your iron skin. Okay, then you run around. Whatever it is that you're gonna be doing. Let's say the mobile defense. Let's pick that. You're gonna grab the hacking tool. You go run to whatever it is that you're hacking. Bam! You go there, kill some enemies. Don't forget your buffer if you have the energy. And then if you are being overrun, you see a lot of enemies. Bam! Cast your fourth ability. Now another thing that I might add on his iron skin. Once it's active, okay, you are immune to most of the uh, knockdowns, being pulled by a hook. You are immune to those, so it really helps on some of this, especially if the mission is Eximus strongholds. There's a lot, you can get thrown around in there if you are not, if you don't have the ability to be immune to those type of effects. And Rhino is pretty much immune to all of those, so it's really good. It's a really good mission time or place for him to dominate. Okay, so what are other mission types? Special mission, because you can really use him to any mission, and he is not gonna be a liability. So another thing is Raptor Boss. Um, I believe it's a Raptor Boss. The Osprey, the big one. I think they changed how he works, and he is much more deadly now. And he can really kill, especially if he is in sorties. I mean, he can really one shot people. And with my build, um, he can really chew my iron skin, but I can just recast anyway. So no harm done. I'm pretty much immortal on that fight unless I forgot to cast my iron skin. Then that's it. It makes the mission really easy. Another place where you can use it is, a good place to use it is on Calatane fight. That circus of a fight. There, there's so much, that Eximus balls going around knocking you out, where there's a portion in the game that you have to stand on a platform, in order to activate a mechanism that you shoot, so you can fight her, and then that's it. So that's one of the good mission. On spy though, in spy missions, well, we have other frames best suited for that, but I'm not saying that he cannot do that. So pretty much every mission you can bring him, uh, and he can be, really, really useful. That's why I like Rhino so much. She is just the, all around frame that can be really helpful at any types of situation. So I will show you another build that I use for syndicates, and here it is. So another thing that I want to show you guys here is my what I use on syndicate missions. Farming those insignias medallions. So since we're talking about Rhino Prime, this is what I use, especially this loadout. Now, the only important in this loadout for syndicate mission is this weapon, Ignis. You can use the Ignis, the regular Ignis, if you don't have the Ignis rate version. But I just use it because I have it. Now on secondary or for the melee weapon, it doesn't matter. Use whatever you want. You can have them, not having these two, it's fine because syndicate missions doesn't really go above level 50 enemies. I don't think they even go so far as level 45. So I can be wrong with that, but in my experience, I usually get up to like level 30 plus enemies, and Ignis can handle that. So it can kill a lot of enemies in groups. It can clear out lots of loot crates or destroyable objects uh, in the area. So a really really good weapon for syndicate missions. Now let's go to the build. So this is the build. As you can see, there's not much change from my original build. uh, Let me show you my original build in here. I think in my previous video I was using rifle amp, or the other one, but now I use growing power since I got it. You know, it's not really important. So if you haven't watched my video on Rhino Prime build, here it is. You can take a screenshot of it. So now let's talk about this one. The only thing that I changed in here is this one, Tip Suite. Now this is a really common mod. It highlights mods, or and also loots in your minimap radar, so you can see a lot. Now, if you're gonna ask me, well, I'm already using Animal Instinct, so yes, that helps Animal Instinct, but it doesn't go as far as this mod. Just try this out. You will see the difference of what I'm talking about. Um, Animal Instinct can only go so far. Okay, so this one, it really highlights a lot in nearly almost everything in the tile set. So you can easily find where those insignias, medallions, or if you are gonna planning on using this on a sabotage mission, you can easily find also those the caches, the hidden caches. But I just want to say, on the hidden caches, they also look alike. On the minimap, it will show the same as those destroyable objects. That's why I use Ignis. I want to clear out those destroyable objects, the loots, so I can pinpoint the medallions or the caches, whatever. Um, in here, ironclad charge is not really needed because I don't really need to buff my iron skin. I can just recast it because the enemies are not really that strong. So you can change this. I got another mod that sometimes I use. This is a master teeth. It if if I'm like I'm feeling like I want to open some lockers. It's not really important. It works sometimes. Getting me more chances in getting those Iatan stars. That's what I use it for. If you are on survival, you're gonna want to use this one, enemy sense. So you can, if you are clearing them out, the enemy so fast, you can use it so you can find more enemies. That's just it. So this is the build. I hope you find it useful. There you go.